Honestly, I mean, you gotta know the reason why they released an official timeline was just because they really wanted to advertise that Skyward Sword was the first game in the series. That was like the only reason they released it. Oh, stream died? What'd you miss? How long did it die for? Honestly, 6 sessions of like freaking long ass streams, and that's the first time I died. Pretty impressive, honestly. I can't really complain much. It probably split the VOD, but that's fine. Because the VOD would have been... Well, this one wouldn't be that long. We were like 6 hours, I think. Anyway. Okay, it looks like we're good now. Let me know if it starts to go again. Anyway, what was I saying? The only reason they did the timeline was just to advertise that Skyward Sword was the first game in the series, really. That's like the big reason they did it. And you know that's the reason they did it. But they're like, oh, here's Hyrule Historia for, you know, all this this game being the first in the series. And then after that, it's like, the only games that came out after Skyward Sword were this and A Link Between Worlds. And A Link Between Worlds was just supposed to be a remake of A Link to the Past initially. And also just goes right after Link to the Past anyway, so it doesn't even matter. It's kind of annoying, like, when you think about it, that because of people's reaction to Skyward Sword, like, it pretty much made it that they're just making this game. These are the only games now, and like they're good. I am enjoying them. They're great, but you know, it is kind of like, it'd be cool if we had some 2D Zeldas too. Giotto keeps interacting with dangerous things. When I object, he insists it's necessary for research. That makes things quite difficult for me. It is my job to guard him, and that is why I gave in to my moment of grumbling. Oh. Right, do you see that opening over there? The cliff crumbled as a result of the upheaval, and that revealed these ancient ruins. Prince Sidon immediately ordered a thorough investigation. Giotto is a historian, so this kind of thing is his specialty. He was terribly excited and is completely transfixed by the ruins. Well, there's another tablet that was this ancient tablet that was... we can't read. Early the devs answer to where in Breath of the Wild the timeline is yes. Well, of course it's at the very end, but I get what you're asking. It's which timeline is at the end of. That's up to the player's imagination, isn't it? I mean, I'm assuming that this. I'm trying to figure out if the thing they're talking about, this storyline, is, considering they mentioned the imprisoning war, which, I mean, to be fair, Link to the Past also has an imprisoning war they mention. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see more. I mean, you honestly, probably you actually know the answer, Sneaky, at this point, considering that I imagine somebody has updated the time. Probably somebody has updated the timeline at this point on Zelda Wiki. This ancient stone slate was written by our Zora ancestors from the distant past and left us to discover. Stand upon the land of the skyfish. The windfish? Stand upon, or is it the whale from Skyward Sword? Is he actually back? Stand upon the... Also, he was a species, by the way. Also, dragon was a species in Skyward Sword. Stand upon the land of the skyfish, a drop with the watery bridge. Someone put it on Zelda Wiki, and to be honest... Well, to be fair, you haven't seen the actual... everything that happens here, honestly. I mean, well, I'll give you my thoughts once we're done. I'm probably, again, unfortunately, I'm not going to probably be able to show you everything, but, I don't know. If, secret, if I don't stream this, like, on Twitch, Sunday, Monday, I might just, if I play more of it, I could stream it, in private, honestly. I don't know. Depends on my thought. It just depends on how I feel. This is the last official first look, which also, first look, 60-hour first look. They put the flashback scenes in between Skyward Sword and Minish Cap. I guess it's not really spoilers, yeah. I don't know if I buy that, though. I guess it depends on what else is said. I guess they're saying demise existed before, and then I could see that maybe the demise existed first, and then because Hyrule in Tears or in Skyward Sword, Hyrule wasn't made at that technical point, so it could be. But then where did the Zonai come from? I guess. But I guess there was a guy that was like, I don't know. It's not impossible. Even though, again, it is another repeat of just the same thing that happened. Like, I mean, that's Zelda in a nutshell. It's all a circle. I mean, Minish Cap is weird because Capcom's like, we want to make the first Zelda story because that's how Link got his hat, and it really doesn't need to be like. It's only where it is just to appease, like, because it doesn't really fit anywhere else. Honestly, it fits the least out of any of the games probably. This is undeniably an ancient Zora stone slate. Better still, upon its surface, there appears to be texture in the sky. However, the slate is broken, and so am I. I am unable to read it its entirety. There is way more to do in this. Oh, they changed. So they keep changing the name of, or no, Zora the Sidon is still there. Yeah, it keeps adding in main quest things. That's interesting. What am I supposed to do here? Oh wait, can I? No. Well, where? Right, I didn't see an ancient Arowana. I need to go back to Mipha's court and see if I can find it there. Because he mentioned it was in Mipha's court, I'm pretty sure. Am I supposed to just go back to... Is that Giotto? Is this a different guy? This is Giotto. Is this Giotto? Yeah. Four Swords were after Minish Cap, but Four Sword Adventure is like 10,000 years later after Twilight Princess. That's another one where they want to try to like tie the Zuna. But I mean, that I think was by... I have to look at what the Hyrule... I don't have Hyrule Historia. I have the Encyclopedia, which I think may be in there as well, honestly. But regardless, what's funny about it is that... oh, hang on. It's right there. Well, a piece of it's right there. To be fair, the only reason why Four Sword Adventures is so much further back is because, unlike the other games, they're just Ganon is added in. So they have to explain why Ganon is not Ganondorf, and he's Ganon with a trident. Link, I must thank you. Oh, incredible. I can finally read it. Yes, I very well can. Stand upon the land of the Skyfish and behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks, you see a droplet waits for you. Through this droplet, shoot an arrow with the mark of the king. Do this task, and you shall reveal a most wondrous thing. See the watery bridge's resting spot with your own two eyes, that which connects the Zora to the people of the skies. Fucking Dorito! This is an extraordinary discovery. This important text actually tells us how to journey to the sky. Though in truth, that mystery just leads us into another. One difficulty has been overcome, and yet another has appeared in its wake. As it mentions the mark of the king, perhaps it would be prudent to consult King Dorphin. I assume that he will be returning from his investigation of the sludge shortly. I mean, arguably, of all the Hijacked by Ganon games, because there's more than you like. There's less than you'd expect, more than you think, kind of for that. Of all of them, Forcerer's Adventure is probably the worst offender. Because there's no good reason for Ganondorf to be in that game, or Ganon to be in that game. Like, okay, in Oracle of Ages Seasons, it's only a linked game thing, and it's Trinrova trying to revive Ganon, which arguably is a little silly, but, you know, I give it, it's a Link to the Past Link, it makes kind of, I give that one. I think that one works. So that's probably the first Hijack by Ganon, honestly. It really is a recent phenomenon when you really think about it. Okay, obviously the big one everyone thinks of is Zant. Which, yes, that is just straight up Hijacked by Ganondorf. But at least that one, you know, first off, it's revealed somewhat early, and I think Zant's instability, and, like, I think it works within the storyline of, like, obviously Zant is, like, comes off as this evil badass, and then ends up just being a man-child, but I think it ends up kind of working out, to be honest. Maldeus is a separate villain. Okay, yeah, the Wind Waker, he's only in Wind Waker, and that's not really Hijacked by Ganon, unless you count the Helm Rock King as the main villain initially. Or not Helm Rock King, Helm Rock. I can't remember. Helm, I don't know, whatever it is. No, it is Helm Rock, because Helmosaur is the dinosaur. Helm Rock is the bird. Because they both have helmets, and they both Rock is bird and Soar is dinosaur. Yeah, obviously Forcerer's Adventure. What's the other big one I'm forgetting? It's not Skyward. Well, Skyward Sword, not really. I guess it is if you consider that. Yeah, it is. It is by proxy because while Demise isn't Ganon. He becomes Ganon, and also, he becomes Ganon, and he definitely does hijack it from Girahim. Though, again, I think in that game it works because Girahim is, you know, his sword. He wants, it makes sense for him to want, you know, it's not like it's like, I think it works within the storyline in that one as well. Okay, where the heck is this Arowana? Yeah, it just randomly they just bring back A Link to the Past for some reason. But the reason is because like Four Swords initially was packaged with A Link to the Past Game Boy, so that's the reason really. That game also has a bunch of original bosses in A Link to the Past. Like there's a specific, once you beat Four Swords, there's a dungeon that opens up, and there's like unique variations of the bosses based on Four Swords Adventure, or based on Four Swords. Where? Okay, they said that it was in Mipha's court though, but where? I'm pretty sure they said that the ancient Arowana was in Mipha's court. I guess technically Link Between Worlds is also hijacked by Ganon. I guess also Link to the Past is hijacked by Ganon as well also, to be fair.
The glow of the blood stain.
I don't think it really is at the time it came out. It is like, because, you know, but like, it's not like anyone thought, I feel like, Agnerim was the actual, you know, villain, but, you know, I guess it still does apply. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, fair. It is actually the opposite. Triforce Heroes, he's not in that. Tingle games don't work in the timeline. And then, I guess technically also, Hyrule Warriors also counts for Hijack by Ganon. Kind of.
Hey.
Ah, Link, have you made any progress to search for Princess Zelda?
Huh.
So the stone slate Giotto was searching had that written on it. A land of skyfish, floating rocks, and with a floating drop among them in the Mark of the King. This mystery only deepens. I wish that it could be of some use. The Mark of the King, I'm sorry, I have no idea what that could be. As Giotto often tells me, when in doubt, ask my father. He is not the beloved Zora King for nothing, after all. He left the domain to investigate the sludge. That's all I know. I'm hopeful he will return soon. The sludge is filthy, that much is certain. With my ability to manipulate water, I've been separating the clean water from the sludge. If I cease what I'm doing, the filthy water will flow from our domain and cause much suffering to Zora. Yona. Lady Yona, she is, well, my fiancée. My intended. My bride-to-be. We were quite close when we were children. I remember those days quite utmost fondness. I must admit I've been a tad awkward around her. We were apart for so long, yet we have barely spoken since she arrived. Now, she is lending a kind hand at the domain because of our current situation, and I can't bring myself to face her. Link, it is brutal being unable to help you with your investigation. Still, please do let me know if you make any headway. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Hyrule Warriors' whole point is being this ridiculous, like, anime crossover of all the different series, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, but at least it does, it at least, like, embraces it to some extent. But it is absolutely ridiculous, you're 100% right. But it does fit with Hijacked with by Ganon. Okay, let's actually try to make some progress here. I keep, like, getting distracted talking about Zelda. But it was actually Ganon, like, manipulating her the whole time, I think, right? But yeah, she just gets jealous of Link, so she opens up a bunch of time holes. I mean, I know people like that better than, like, Age of Calamity and Three Hopes, which I need to finish that at some point, like, all the routes. But I know people, like, prefer the big collaboration versus it. But at the same time, there's no way to do a collaboration. I'm sure some games can do a collaboration, but and make it actually make sense. But in general, there's no good way to do a giant collab of a series without some kind of ridiculous plot reasoning, honestly. No matter how you do it, like, how do you explain a whole bunch of different universes coming together all at once? There's no real good way to do that. I guess stuff like Spider-Verse kind of works because it's baked into how this series as it is, so it kind of works with that. But, like, for a lot of video games, like, I mean, is there any crossover series that don't have some kind of ridiculous plot line? I don't know how Project X Zone works. Maybe that one does it well. There you go.
Whoa.
What even is the plot? How does it even explain it at all? I guess it doesn't. It just happens. At least the first game. I don't know if the later ones do.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. I think I dyed this to make it red, which made sense. Link is basically a widow, by the way. I'm glad they didn't, like, I'm glad, like, with all the other armors being... I guess it's implied that Link didn't get any other clothes as canon in Breath of the Wild, because he's getting all these for the first time. I guess it's implied that Link didn't get the other armors because in Breath of the Wild, when he played, he only got the armor from Mipha, and that's all he wore. That's my headcanon. That was the only armor he got initially. I assume that Sonic and Mario existed in parallel and only interacted during real-world sporting events. I mean, Smash Bros. Mostly sidesteps the whole debate because they're all just toys. So it's like, they're not. It doesn't really, like, oh, it's a big crossover, but they're just toys. So it's like whatever. It can you can do whatever you want because they're not real. Of course, it will not help you with climbing waters that have been tainted with sludge. This will help me climb up that one place in Rio, though. There was that water that was flowing down. I imagine I can swim up through that.
Whoa.
Okay, well, that is a main quest, so it is required, to be fair.
Yes.
Okay, we are definitely equipping this. Yeah, this is like... There were some other pants I wore. I think I wore these. Was what I wore for most of Breath of the Wild. I think I will probably change it up here. For now, we'll go with this. It's a sick look. Okay, I'm starting to fall asleep on my desk. Well, let me go talk to King Dorphine first. But that's fair. I mean, I'm going to keep going, so if you want to check back the VOD. King Dorphine Super Punch and Super Kick. Yeah, I'm so big and strong. Wahaha. Oh no, I got beat. The sludge is so yucky. You got me. I mean, I enjoyed talking to you, Sneaky. I'm sorry that I wasted time, but, you know. You know how I can get. You got me, you big dumb monster. There's no other choice. I'll have to hide in the secret spot. And that spot is... Oh, what's up, guy? We're full up on folks who are allowed to play our King Dorphine game. We can't keep playing with you here, so take the hit and scram. Tumbo, you used to love me. Oh. Well then, when I was queen in the throne room, the children shooed me away. King Dorphine would never do a super kick. I can't remember what he looked like, but wasn't he like... I mean, most of the Zora Kings are like giant and can barely move, I'm pretty sure. They declared they were playing a secret game and insisted vehemently that adults were not allowed. There wasn't even pretending to be King Dorphine. What's more, it seems they're recreating recent events. It is ill-advised to allow them to mess around over there. As an adult, I must participate, and I mean watch over them. The question is, how do I sneak a peek? I wonder if there's somewhere I could hide. The king's in trouble. That's not working. I guess I gotta get close enough. Hang on. I did it, but the sludge is too thick and gross. I have failed. My king, King Dorphine. Pretty please. What if you went to that one place to hide? Hey, come on, do it right. That didn't sound like him at all. I'm trying, but I can't play Muzu and the monster, not all by myself. Hey, I've been wondering forever. The secret spot where King Dorphine is hiding, what kind of place is it? I know, right? I asked King Dorphine about it once. He said it was a pristine sanctummy or something. Pristine sanctummy. So I guess it's a spot with clear water, somewhere you can get your tummy clean and stuff. But these days, most of the water around the domain is all yucky because of the sludge. Oh, I've heard there's some clean water flowing somewhere between Polymus Mountain and the domain. There's supposed to be a secret entrance behind the waterfall, too. How cool is that? A secret entrance behind a waterfall with clean A secret entrance behind a waterfall. Never heard of that before. With clean water. Huh, that sounds pretty amazing. Change the world, my final message. Okay, I'm switching to your phone. So I'm basically, as soon as you don't respond, that means you're asleep. Yep, hey, wait a minute. Muzu told us we could never ever tell anyone. It's fine, no one's listening. Anyway, go through with our game again. This time with feeling. Oh, can't we play something else? There's so many main quests for. They love the fucking Zora. They like go all out on the Zora all the time. This is just be called Breath of the Zora. Tears of the. This is why tears, because water. Behind a waterfall somewhere between Polymus Mountain and the Domain. Okay. So it's like over in here-ish. Zora armor is the best armor because it's like the only one that lets you do something else. I mean, the other ones do, but like it's like story. It's the only story-related armor. I'm pretty sure. This was not in the first game, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was. I just never found it. I don't know. I feel like even though I think they did the Rito better in this game, the Rito section was basically the Rito are being snowed on. We went there. They're like, go find Tulin through these. Tulin flew off because he was upset. We went and helped him because the king was. We went and helped Tulin, or we went and found Tulin in the caves. And then we fought off a bunch of things, and then they're like, Tulin, you and Link can join together, and then you can go up and fight the boat. And then we just climbed up for 1 billion years, and finally got to the boat. The Gorons was basically, Yunobo was evil, but we broke his mask, and then we just went on a minecart, jumped, killed this evil monster, went down into Death Mountain to the complete bottom of the world, and then went to the Fire Temple. This one is like, go talk to Sidon. Sidon's like, I'm trying to clean this water, and it's helping, but it's not going to fix the problem. Hey, go talk to my historian. And the historian's like, this is the way to get to the sky. So then we have to go and get the armor fixed, and then go find the king here, and be like, hey, king. Though technically, I guess you do need. You probably could find a way to get up here without the armor, maybe, but it's way easier to just have the armor. And then eventually we're going to be going up to the sky as well here. So it just feels way more. Everyone in this game, or in this area more. While you did know Tulin a bit in the first game. The only Goron you really interacted with was the boss, and then also I guess technically, you also interacted with. In Yunobo, and that was basically it. They did add like 2 little young Gorons in this game, which is cool. I guess they didn't add more Rito, but the fact that Rito know you is nice. Like the Rito are the same. The Zora, I recognize a lot of these Zora names because, like I said, I spent a lot of time in this area. Where does it even go to? Well, you probably could have got here from down here then, honestly. God, who approaches? Is that you? So it is. Link. How did you find this place? What cruel ploy are you plotting? Hold, my ever-loyal Muzu. If you speak in such a way without explanation, Link will only be confused as to what is going on. Hello, Link. It has been some time since we last spoke. I had received word that you were missing along with Princess Zelda. Why have you come here? Well, to think that such a thing should transpire for the hero of Hyrule and Princess Zelda.
Huh?
You expect us to believe that Princess Zelda simply disappeared just like that? Do not sully our ears with your lies. Muzu's an asshole. I saw Princess Zelda with my own eyes right after the phenomenon at Hyrule Castle took place. Calm yourself, Muzu. Link's eyes betray no hint of deception. He remains a trusted friend of the Zora. What's interesting is the Gorons directly said, Yunobo was like, Zelda gave me him the mask. And we saw Zelda there, but Zelda was directly involved in causing the problem in the Gorons, right? And now we're implying that this also happened here. Did not happen at all in the Rito, I'm pretty sure. I do not remember any mention of Zelda. Poor Rito just get like so... Well, but I mean, to be fair, that was supposed to be the first area. So they didn't want to like give their hand too fast. Because you go to that area and you go to the Lucky Gazette. And then as you do the Lucky Gazette stuff, you get hints of Zelda appearing and doing some potentially mischievous things. So then when you go to another one, like this one or the Gorons... and you don't have, I mean, obviously you can do them out of order, but if you went in that order, you wouldn't be as shocked, because you would have already had a little bit of hints, and it would have been warmed up to that point. There must be an explanation. Link, I will tell you what happened when we last saw Princess Zelda, as well as the reason behind my seclusion here in the pristine sanctum. We encountered Princess Zelda just after Hyrule Castle ascended into the sky. Floating islands appeared as if from nowhere. Sludge and fragments of ruin began to rain down. Uzi and I had left the domain to investigate these strange occurrences. That is when it happened. Princess Zelda descended from the sky accompanied by a sludge monster. What happened next took us by surprise. She then unleashed the beast upon us. King Dorphin valiantly vanquished the threat. However, he was gravely injured by the sludge during the battle. As for Princess Zelda, she vanished without a trace. If word got out that Princess Zelda lost her mind and harmed the King Zora, the resulting turmoil would be devastating. That is why we are temporarily remaining hidden within the pristine sanctum. According to your story, Princess Zelda disappeared suddenly in the depths of beneath Hyrule Castle. On the other hand, she suddenly appeared near Zora's domain and unleashed a monster upon us. The waters of truth have become murkier. Still, but from the Zora perspective, one thing is clear. It all leads back to the sky. This disaster, the sludge monster, and even Princess Zelda. It may well be that the answer to these riddles can only be found skyward, sword. Sidon ordered Giotto, the historian well acquainted with ruins, to investigate. I wonder if any progress has been made. So you've already spoken with Giotto. You say the Mark of the King was mentioned on the stone slate that was restored. Indeed I do know of it. The Mark of the King refers to the Azores King scale. One of my scales, in other words. Welcome back, Phone Sneaky. I have heard it called by... did you miss any of this, I imagine? Because if you were transferring over, or did you, like... Was it seamless? I have heard it called by name you mentioned in an ancient ritual. However, none remain who know how to use it. If this particular scale of mine may prove useful, by all means take a few. There's no need to restrain. This is nothing to me. If you run out, simply return it, and I acquire more. Wahaha. Basically, we went to the secret waterfall, and he's like, dude, so we know that you say Zelda disappeared, but she definitely appeared here and unleashed a sludge monster on us, and then the king killed it, but, like, yo, what the fuck? And I was saying how that basically wasn't what happened in the Goron. It did not happen in the Rito. They didn't, like... Actually, the Rito is weird, too, because causing the snowstorm is the ship, and... Princess Zelda isn't mentioned at all in that section, but what they is mentioned is, like I said, the newspaper, which you then, as you're doing the newspaper side quests, you learn more about Zelda appearing and doing evil shit. So it's interesting that these ones, the Goron and Zora, are more direct, but I assume it's because they expect you to do these second. After all that has transpired, and after much reflection, I have come to a realization. I must truly be getting on in years to have allowed a mere monster to catch me off guard. Perhaps the time is nearing for me to pass the title of king on to Sidon. King Dorfin. In any case, this is a matter for another day, after the chaos surrounding the sludge has quieted. Please inform Sidon about my situation and about the king's scale. Tell him there is no need to worry about me. Tell him that he must go forth and do what needs to be done. Okay. You can reunite with your Zora armor, a fitting garment for a hero your caliber. Yeah, I doubt you came here simply to show me your armor. Is there something you would like to ask? I wonder if you can do other stuff with the king scales. Speaking of Giotto and Zora Sheldon led you to King Dorfin. So I need to go back to Giotto. I'm going to go back to Giotto first. Oh, King Dorfin. Why does King Dorfin and, like, the Rito Elder, like, because now Teba, get pages, but the Korans only get Yonobo? Does it really ever say how long Gorons live as far as age? Like, Gerudo, I assume, are more, like, natural. I think they have natural lifespans. Rito, I assume, is natural. Gorons are weird, though, in general, to be fair. We think Zelda links Sidon and Sidon's girlfriend. I'm sure somebody has already shipped it somewhere, probably. Okay, hang on. If I do this, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. Probably once I beat Zora, I'll have to see what time it is, because it's 3:44 now, and I don't think I want to go super late tonight, because I probably want to, like, actually relax a bit before bed. I mean, I might play more of this on my own, but I don't know. But yeah, after this stream, like, if I stream on Monday or Tuesday, or Sunday or Monday, I'm not promising. I mean, I honestly am thinking no, because anyone that's watching this, for the most part, is probably watching it after the fact, so I probably just won't play it for... I'm going to play it for friends in private if I play it at all, but I'm not going to, like, worry about having to... Like, I'm not going to worry about... Like, right now, everything I've streamed... Anytime I played, I've been streaming. I haven't played it. Everything you've seen besides, like, cooking once has been me streaming. I'm not going to worry about it after this session. But, I'll probably stream on my own a little bit, is what I'm saying. Or play on my own, is what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm probably not going to stream it on Twitch. Anyone watching the VOD, unfortunately, I'm not going to have my entire full playthrough. You know, as cool as it would be. But I don't know. We'll just play it by ear. Xenoblade solution to shipping wars, all of the above. I know nothing about Xenoblade lore, but I'm not surprised. Oh, Link, did you figure anything out? What could it truly be? The king's skill is actually the mark of the king? If we apply the understanding to the words written upon the stone slate, we would get, stand upon the land of the skyfish, and behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks you see a droplet waits for you. Through the droplet shoot an arrow with the king's scale. Do this task, and you shall reveal a most wondrous thing. See the watery bridge resting spots with your own two eyes, that which connects Azora to the people of the skies. Still, the land of the skyfish and the droplets found there, I have no idea what they could be referring to. If you must shoot an arrow through this droplet from the land of the skyfish, first you must find the land of the skyfish. I've never heard of such a place. Perhaps it is truly the chamber of a fish as the text describes. Huh, I'm quite stumped on this one. I don't know. You think you would see it based on the map, but... Well, that didn't help me much, so I guess let's head to Sidon. Oh, is there a cave over there? No, okay, it's just a reflection of... Oh, there's a waterfall over there. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna be streaming Donkey Kong, but we will have Name That Game Tune, which I'm excited to do more of that. So we'll do, I think what I'm gonna do 2 streams the last week, because like I said, I'm gonna have 4 days off that week. I think 2 streams makes sense, and that way I take a break from streaming. I only do the one which is Name That Game Tune, and then I can just and then I can play more Zelda. I don't want to go down there just yet, though. How far? Wow, that is way far down. Yeah, no, we're not going down there. Tifa's Court. Apparently I'm kind of hungry again. I'm surprised. I should eat something at some point. There's that waterfall. I don't even know how to get over there. And how far away is that before I go talk to Sidon? I think I could. That's not actually that far away, I think. Hang on. I mean, is this a fish, though? This might be a fish. This is the tail? Like, is this... Yeah, look. This is the skyfish. No, this is definitely the skyfish. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's go talk to... Let's go talk to Sidon. I want to see what his power is before Sneaky falls asleep, which may have already happened, but we will We'll do our best.
Oh.
Ah, that is the Zora armor. It is really perfect on you. I have no doubt that it will help you in your search for Princess Zelda. But speaking of, have you found anything? What? You say my father was attacked by a monster, and that Princess Zelda unleashed it upon him? What could that possibly mean? Well, now I fear, for all we can do is take my father at his word and try not to let our concern overcome us. Link, thank you for telling me about my father. Princess Zelda descending from the sky, not to mention the monster that the filthy sludge. We now know that the mark of the king written on the slate refers to my father's scale. The only remaining mystery is that of the land of the skyfish and the floating rock in the shape of a droplet. Stand upon the line of the skyfish, that must be referring to an actual location of some sort. I'm sure that if we locate the land of the skyfish, that will lead us to the floating rock that is in the shape of a droplet. If you find any leads, please let me know at once. Okay, well, I assume it's this, right? Because that has to be the skyfish. It's kind of weird that we have like multiple, but they're both basically two objectives that are basically the same objective, which is get to the sky. I can't wait until I get back to Rito, because I can climb up that waterfall there. Okay. If this is the skyfish, and based on its look, stand upon the line of the skyfish and behold its lofty root. Among the floating rocks you see a droplet waits for you. Through this droplet shoot an arrow with the mark of the king. Do this task and you shall reveal the most wondrous thing. Okay, so there is one that is shaped like a droplet. There. It's one of those pictures. Look, it is very convenient that the rocks happen to just fall in this shape, by the way. I guess ancient prophecy and all that. Okay. Where is the King Zora scale? It's gotta be here somewhere. I see it. I thought it was gonna explode. Okay, that one's complaint. Alright, back to Sidon. Lady Yona, it is far too dangerous for you to be here.
Yes.
Darling, I came because there is something I need to speak to you about. I've been thinking for quite some time. Huh? Oh. Hello there, Link. I think we should have Link join us in our marriage. What has happened, my friend? Did you figure something out? You solved the ancient stone slate's riddle and a pillar of light appeared. If the words upon the stone slate are correct, a path to the sky may open up if we investigate that location.
Oh.
Well done, Link. This is a huge development. I see. My dear Sidon, I think you should go with Link to investigate the Pillar of Light. As I was just about to say, for a long time I've been concerned that you are holding yourself back and not acting as freely as I would have expected. But my love, if you and Link join your powers, I'm certain you shall be able to overcome whatever danger awaits. That is undoubtedly true. However, whatever troubles you, Sidon, why are you hesitating so? It is simply that... What? Oh. Sludge light. The monster is covered in sludge. Could it be the foul beast that harmed Father? Sidon, we can take care of the water, at least for a little while. Do not fret about the domain.
Huh.
You are right as ever. It is up to you, milady. Link, please, I must ask you to fight at my side once more. The beast is protecting its body with sludge. It is a mighty opponent, certainly, but we must not falter. When an opportunity presents itself, call out to me. I shall use my power to envelop you in water, thus shielding you from a foe. Why did Sidon get Yonobu's power? At that point, you may shoot forth the water as an attack by swinging your weapon. When Sidon's aura is charged, you can create a bubble of water that blocks an incoming enemy attack. If you swing your weapon, this water will be channeled into a long-range strike. This is fucking awesome!
We need to get up close and personal with it. Be careful. Okay.
Sidon, come over here. Dang it. I should have used the bow. He's almost dead. No, I need you. So it's a defensive and offensive thing. I like it a lot, actually. Okay, so I can see why you'd also want to defend or dismiss some of them because, like, again, I feel like with Cooling, you need to keep him on. But like between the two, I'd honestly rather just have Sidon on unless I need Yunobo for anything specific. You did it, Link. Take that foul beast of sludge. Is everyone alright? We are unharmed. Thank goodness. Lady Yona, if something had happened to you, Ahem, in any case, is it possible that another monster will appear? I suggest that you return to the domain at once. Thank you for the sentiment, Sidon. However, more importantly, we must consider what Sir Link spoke of earlier. The pillar of light he said appeared at the reservoir banks to be investigated. This may be our opportunity to learn the cause of this sludge falling from the sky or even Princess Zelda's whereabouts.
Yes.
Leave this place to us, dear Sidon. Your friend needs your help getting to the bottom of this mystery. Well, of course it would be best for me to accompany him. However, I cannot leave you alone in this dangerous place. Did you not entrust this task to us already? We will not be on our own for long. We will be just fine. But I like how he's getting overprotective because now he's worried about, like, because he doesn't want a repeat of Mipha. It speaks the kindness of your heart, but you are the Prince of the Zora. One day you will lead the people of your beloved domain. I can see right through you, whether you want me to or not. You are yielding to the fear of losing someone you love again. You must overcome your past and face whatever the future holds with courage. But
Come now.
Enough is enough. You are not acting like yourself.
Hey now.
You must... I assume, like, the upheaval happening, he was like, holy shit, the upheaval. I don't know if I can deal with someone losing again. Sweet Sidon, do not get lost in the past. You must keep moving forever onward. Just follow your heart as you always do. Like my old self, like I always do.
Yes, yes.
It is alright, I swear it. I am not going anywhere. I see, and there it is, clear as day. I was giving in to my fear once more of losing someone I love. You're alright, Yona. I will not give in to this fear, nor forsake my trust in you. I leave this place to you, my love. Off we go, Link. He did it! He did the thing! To the pillar of light. I shall blaze on ahead, my friend. Heh. It seems Sidon has finally put his doubts behind him and returned to his usual fearless self. I'm so glad. All this time he was clinging to the regret over being unable to save his precious sister Mipha, my poor tormented Sidon. Like, you could be like, well, why wasn't he like this in Breath of the Wild? I think he became courageous and just blazed forward because he lost his sister. He didn't really think he'd lose anything else. Also, Yona, I assume they reunited after the fact, so that affected things too. But I think he just kind of became a little bit fearless because he just like, well, I can't lose anything else. And then the upheaval happens, and this happens to his people, and, you know, Yona comes back and he falls in love with her. He was just like, it makes sense. And to think he was unknowingly paralyzed from taking action because he feared losing me as well.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's overcome this trial and placed his faith in me. At last, the Sidon I know and love has come back to me. Link, please take good care of my dear Sidon. He is the sun in my sky. Maybe I need this. I guess that's fine. Alright. It is interesting though, like I think the thing with having Mipha's Grace and stuff is that it was making you stronger, and it wanted to tie to the champions. It was making it stronger for fighting Ganon, but at the same time, it made like healing, like using food mechanics, like unnecessary. And I do think these, like, from a gameplay story standpoint, questionable. But from a gameplay standpoint, I do think it makes sense. And at least with Sidon, his power is something he would have had normally. Yunobo's is the biggest what the fuck, because he literally has Daruk's shield and he's not using it anymore. It would be fine if he would just use the Daruk shield when he like charged forward, but he's not. He's using a fire thing. It's not that like he's not using the shield. Maybe the shield cost too much to animate. Over there, what is that? Something resembling a pillar of light. Okay. Why are you over here? I guess because I wasn't supposed... Well, no, I guess I was supposed to come down here, just not land. I was aiming for the pillar of light. Apparently I should have been aiming for Sidon. I have so much stamina at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure I have almost max stamina. So, like, I am further... to some point, it feels like I have made no progress, but I definitely have. Still at the underground, though. So that is the clue for reaching the sky. So, if the Gorons were underground, and the Zora are in the sky, and the Rito are in the sky, because, I don't know, then I assume the Gerudo are also underground. Also, earth and fire, water and wind makes sense. Never mind, now is not the time for flights of fancy. Just where could that light be coming from?
I have an idea.
Why would you think this would work? But oh, maybe it isn't. It never. Well, no, it's the
Just
sky
as I
though.
thought. I can see an entrance at the bottom of the lake.
Oh, I see.
I'll
Okay.
make a path for you. Dive in, Link.
I love you. Marry me, fishman. Okay, well then I guess there's gonna be a cannon, maybe. Where's Sidon? Is he gonna come in? This place is cool. I think what helps in this game is even if the dungeons aren't as dungeon-like, the fact that there's caves and way more stuff to explore that's inside. Like, so much in Breath of the Wild was just outdoors because, you know, the wild. But I think, like, stuff like this is so cool. And the only things you really had were the Divine Beasts were the only ones. Also, Ancient Zora Waterworks, by the way. Is this the temple? Maybe this is the temple, and then we use it to get to the sky, and I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. How are you supposed to break these normally? I guess, like, with just a weapon of some sort. I couldn't use, well, I mean, again, I think the Gorons were supposed to be second, so I guess you could technically use... You could get here without having Yunobo, though. Shield. I wanted to get up that ladder. Oh, it's not a ladder, it's just water. Okay, hang on. I guess I could just hang on. I mean, this I can just use a club for. Well, I'm running out of clubs. Right, yeah. Like, I really did like the Rito section. The Corrin section kinda was not good. Mostly because, well, I don't hate Yunobo. He's definitely one of the weaker characters. Especially now that you have Sidon and Tulin. Like, both of them are so much better. And I also like the Gerudo person, too. But also, it was basically just, he's acting like an asshole, something's wrong with him, you fix him, and then after you fix him, it's just like, okay, now, it's time to go up the mountain, and then you're in the Fire Temple, and the Fire Temple kind of sucked. Can I make a fire here? No. Okay.
Hey!
a hole. Right, I gotta go back to that guy to give him the choo-choo picture. We can definitely ascend up there. Anything else in this sewer? There is a way to get over there somehow. Link would definitely die from that water pressure, by the way. Like, he would have been slammed against that metal grate. There's no way he wouldn't have died there from the blunt trauma. How do I actually get out of here to be out here? This place is cool. It's like a little mini side dungeon before. I assume this is not the actual. Yeah, this doesn't seem like this is the actual dungeon. It's like the dungeon before the dungeon. It's not really a dungeon, but like it's like how Captain Goes Well is a thing. I can't tell where. I think I came in from that way. Where's this way? I should have shock fruit somewhere. I have the ice fruit. I don't know where the shock fruit went to. Oh, fruit. Close enough. Oh, I should take a picture of that guy, by the way. My bad. Also, he wasn't a water lake, he was an ice lake. these Zora longswords, honestly. Pretty good. Pretty good weapons. Okay. I hope I can eventually find this guy so I can get all these monster costumes from him. And I've gotten, I mean, there's still a lot to get, but I've gotten quite a few baubles. I don't even know if you need them all, or if it's like the Deku or the Koroks. There we go. Oh, another Zora. I mean, honestly, I kind of need those. Need some good weapons. At some points, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I have all the weapons I need, and then I just lose them all. Well, that's where I exited that hole. I was like, is that hole somewhere I can need to be? No, I exited that hole. I probably can glide from over there. Oh, I did, to be honest, but I guess I wasn't high up enough. I think I was on the other side. The fact that slip resistant doesn't just negate slipping is kind of a dumb. Like, then what's the point of having it if it doesn't get negated entirely? Like, it's like they were so resistant to the fact that, oh, well, it would break our main mechanic, which, look, to some extent I get. I know I only have one piece of the armor, but when I had, like, the potion, I was at full slip, and I was still slipping. Okay, I could have just gone from this side, whatever. So that Zora Armor is main quest. I mean, it was main quest, but like, clearly you very much need it. Up until this point, I think. No, I guess you needed to take it to the fish. Even then, I think. I mean, actually, in theory, you could probably get up here without actually. You could probably just go get a plane. Like, what happened? Is this your doing? Oh, so you activated a mysterious device in the ruins. And then the waterfall appeared. I believe I understand. To Azora, the waterfall is no different from my path. That must be the meaning behind Watery Bridge. Yes, it must. If we climb this waterfall, we shall ascend into the sky. I think I knew you could do it. My belief in you is as well placed as ever. Huh?
Here,
Here.
come here,
That's not Mifa, is it?
come to me.
No, that's not Mifa's voice. I mean, the one that was for the Goron kind of sounded Daruk-like, but it couldn't have been because these are ancient guys. So. Well, in any case, we now have a path forward. All that's left is to press onward. We started at what, like 9? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. About like 7 hours so far. If there's over armor, you can climb the waterfall as well. Let us be off on my next adventure. Yeah, I gotta go take a quick stretch here. And then I will be right back and we'll do the rest of the Zora area. Wellspring Island. We still got all of this to climb. I do like, there's probably going to be a temple too. I think, again, the Zora area, they just do way better every time for whatever reason. They really like the Zora. In the last game, they did have a little bit of lead up before you got to the dungeon, but I do think it's a little bit more extensive in this game, a bit more, I think, at times. Because you have the whole climb up in this and in the Rito area. I think less with the Gorons, to be honest, but... Alright, I will be right back. 2-minute break, and then... this. think I want to go to bed around 10. Because that will give me... I'll wake up at 6, and then 10 or 11. That way I wake up at... I get 8 hours, and then I have time to wake up by 7 to watch stream. And then the thought is that I... no, hang on. I want to see my sound levels on OBS. So I want to go back to bed by 10. And then what I think I want to do is not like stop playing at 10. So it's 4:30 now. I would say maybe another 3 to 4 hours. Like, okay, we figure 5 would be 8. 8 or I think about 8 or 9 I stop. Between 8 and 9 maybe. Should be about 3 to 4 hours. Which I should definitely be able to finish this up and maybe do some other exploration real quick. It's been a good week, honestly. I had good Mother's Day. I got a bunch of stuff done. I had fun with friends. Zelda has been... What? Why do we have... Is it because of the water? We were like weird galaxy jump. Weird floaty jumps. It's been a good week. I know I've been playing a lot of this, but honestly I've been enjoying it. And I got done what I needed to get done. I'm glad I was able to take 6 days off. And I only had to work 3 this week before I'm off again for 3 more days. But and there is other games coming out this year I'm looking forward to. Specifically, the next big one. I mean, I guess I could get Katamari, but the next big one is probably the Raincode game for the not Danganronpa game. Such a weird area. Kind of dig it, honestly. What is this place? My body is feeling light as a feather. This is a strange place indeed, but right now we must... Is it because they're going to become Rito? We must focus on locating the source of the sludge. Link, it is time to divide and conquer. Let's split up for the time being. Well, it's interesting that Tulin... I guess because the lesson for him is that he needs to be able to let people rely on their own. But Tulin worked together with Link to make it work. Meanwhile, Sidon's kind of going off on his own, and Yunobo was pretty much with me the entire journey, honestly. Having the stamina increase really helps with doing that, honestly. He's still alive. Or is a new one. I thought I killed him, though. What the heck is over this way? destroy this chest, which I can just mostly do here by turning the gravity up.
Yup.
Big battery. It's a battery.
Yup.
Big.
Yup.
Oh god. Oh god. This gravity is freaking with me. It just throw me off. I thought it said the this was 26. Is it not because it's broken, or is it because like normally it would be, or is it because is it because it's the attack plus, so that's it's not showing what it actually totally is, but it's showing it in theory. Yeah, I don't know like why. It's not like you would need to do any of this challenge, or you can just jump over all of it. It's just for a big battery. It's cool, but I don't know how. Unless it's required, which it could be. It's not impossible. Okay. Problem is all this goop. There was something up here, right? There was something I could do up this way. Maybe not. I mean, I could ascend. Maybe? Or I can't get far enough over. Oh, it's too high. Okay. This is like a cool area, honestly. There's some really cool, unique mechanics here. Like, the Rito area being first made sense because it's mostly just floating. There's nothing really all that, like, unique. It's why the Goron section, implying it was second, but the game implying it, kind of is a letdown because it's basically just more of, kind of the same. There's not really any super unique mechanics. I guess the mine carts, but they were already in the first game, and they were better in the first game, arguably. Here, we have these bubble things. And the low gravity, which are both really cool. Why is it not getting started? I'm just taking a bit. I mean, I guess I don't really need the bubbles, to be fair. I have enough stamina that I can just kind of go like this. Be careful. Or that I want, actually. Another sage's will so that I can get their will. Can't tell if that's the place I was at or. There's another one of those fountain things. I mean, I think that route won't get me anywhere, though. I think I need to go this way. Well, because I don't think the bubbles can get high enough, so I think I need to go this way. I think this is the path I need to take. Where's the, It's not like this is any higher than this other place. It's not like we're in space, so it's gotta be because of the water particles, I guess, or something. I don't know how that would work physics-wise. Maybe they explain it here, I don't know. Or, like, maybe they'll give an explanation as to why it's so light up here. But I don't think, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's higher than the retail area. I don't think it is, because that I was climbing for, like, ever. This is such a cool area. It's kind of weird that we're getting these in chest, honestly. We haven't really got those in chest too much. If we did, it was mostly at the beginning of the game, to be honest. Is that... Is that where I went to? No. It's a different... Where is that on the map, though? Okay, it's... okay, I see. I was like, how does that relate to where I currently am at? So I did want to go do that. Because there's probably just a chest over there, but... Orbs. I wonder if I get a bubble machine to make bubbles. Like, what is actually... What are those things in the bubbles, honestly? Like, I guess batteries?